Good evening. The former judge who oversaw the inquest into the deaths of the Princess of Wales and Dodi Fayed has been appointed to investigate child safeguarding blunders that allowed two paedophile priests to continue working at churches in East Sussex.
Baroness Butler-Sloss has been tasked with finding out if the victims of one of those paedophile clergymen, Roy Cotton, have been provided with adequate support by the Anglican Church. Our Home Affairs correspondent Colin Campbell has our exclusive story.
She was Britain's top female judge, renowned for her no-nonsense approach. But now it seems her job is to try to determine how accountable the Church is for allowing convicted paedophile Roy Cotton and vicar Colin Pritchard to continue their priestly duties after serious allegations of sexual abuse were made against the pair. Mark was one of Cotton's victims.
At the end of the day, we do need some sort of closure, and we need to feel comfortable that hopefully this thing or this type of thing will never happen again. People have suffered big time, and I'm sure there are many more people out there that are still suffering now. And maybe if we come to some sort of conclusion, maybe they'll come forward. Maybe they'll actually get the help that they really need.
A church-going Anglican, Baroness Elizabeth Butler-Sloss has a long and distinguished legal career. She became a High Court judge in 1979, and 9 years later she was the first woman appointed to the Court of Appeal. She was thrust into the public eye in the late 1980s when she chaired the Cleveland Child Abuse Inquiry.
I can't see that Baroness Butler-Sloss would be party to any sort of cover-up, any sort of attempt to whitewash the church of which she's a member. If anything, she would be determined to restore its reputation, and she would know that the only way to restore its reputation would be to conduct this inquiry totally impartially.
Well, these are the terms of reference for the review by Baroness Butler-Sloss. Her primary role will be to assess the evidential value and conclusions of the confidential Meekings Report, a report into safeguarding failures surrounding Roy Cotton, which the Church has kept under wraps. The new review will also, though, look at how the Church has managed or dealt with allegations of abuse and how the victims of Roy Cotton have been supported by the Church.
The only people who really know what happened are the people who were there. So if she wants to find out those details, it's really quite simple. She just needs to speak to the people who went through those horrific experiences.
Mark hasn't been told if he'll be called. He says he is angry about the Church's failure to answer his questions, not least how Roy Cotton was able to be ordained with a conviction for child abuse.
I want to feel comfortable that the Church understands where they went wrong, and puts in place procedures, whatever else they need to ensure that they don't happen again.
A further concern may be the fact the diocese is currently without a safeguarding advisor. Their last resigned and hasn't been replaced. Baroness Elizabeth Butler-Sloss will give her recommendations in the new year.
That was our Home Affairs correspondent Colin Campbell reporting, and he is with me now in the studio. And Colin, what have the Church had to say about this today?
Well, Polly, they're unable to provide us with an interviewee today. They have, however, issued us with a statement. Now, it says that the review by Baroness Butler-Sloss aims to ensure that the diocese addresses the need to secure the highest standard of safeguarding. Now, that's all they're willing to discuss with me at the moment. Naturally, I've asked more questions, but they said at this moment in time, they don't want to preempt or prejudice the ongoing review by Baroness Butler-Sloss. Now, interestingly, though, I have discovered that a second member of the Diocesan Safeguarding Board has now resigned her position. Her name is Maggie Ellis. Now, she's told me in a statement that because she's resigned because she did not find the policies and procedures in regards to safeguarding children to be advanced or transparent enough. So that's a second resignation on top of Shirley Hosgood, the former safeguarding advisor. OK,
Colin, thank you. And if you've been affected by the issues in Colin's report, there's a link to a charity that helps victims of sexual abuse on our website. That's bbc.co.uk/Sussex.